Hi, I'm Fizer. Thanks for joining me for a few minutes. Within you is the power to do whatever you need to do. We don't really need to talk in depth about it. We really don't need to talk with a lot of theological fanfare. You can choose to do and be as effective as you are willing to be at any time. You have the power already. You don't have to ask. You already have within you the power to be as effective and to be as masterful as you are willing to be. And so many times we are resisting the process of doing it, or we are resisting how we're going to feel, or we don't want to feel that we're being punked by other people. And so sometimes we have an egotistical battle going on. We are playing chess. We have an egotistical battle with other people because we are playing chess with what other people are going to do to us or react to us. And so sometimes we don't want people to react to us as though we're weak. And sometimes we don't want people to react to us as though we're being punked. So we kind of pause the button for a minute. But every one of us have the power to be as effective as we want to be. And we feel the choices within us. We can be as great to us as we need to be. We can instantaneously change our course of life and start a new one and make it a successful one, really. We know what to do already. We already know what to do. Now, whether or not we're willing to do what we know is up to us. And I don't know why we remain unwilling and we put the responsibility upon God to override our resistance. No, I don't think that's fair. We already have the power to be as masterful, powerful as we need to be. I'm going to read something in Jeremiah 31:33, and I know all of you know it. I'm just going to say it. It says, "But this is the new covenant or the new promise I will make with the people of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my instructions deep within them, and I will write them on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they will be my people." Within us is already an instruction. Within us is already an interwoven word. You don't really need the Bible to do it. And I'm not discrediting the Bible, I just read it. But within us is an instruction already, a deep-seated word, a deep-seated truth, not a Christian word, not a Christian truth, but it's a word of mastery. Everybody say word of mastery, and I'm not going to be on here long. But within us all is a word of mastery, a mastery gene. It's not some sin nature that's keeping us from doing it. No, it's us keeping us from doing it if we don't want to do it. But within us is a mastery gene that works according to the love we have to the gene. Within us is a mastery spiritual gene that allows us to have the ability to do whatever we need to do. And that is fully activated by our love of the value of that thing. Now, if we don't share the same value of the gene, if we don't share the same value of the mastery, of the power, then we're not going to follow it because we don't share the same value of it or the same concept of it. And so we may want something below the value of the gene. Now, we can do whatever we want, and the only trouble we have is when we don't have the same value of the mastery within us, but we have the same desire. I want my bills paid, I don't want to work. See, that means you don't share the same value of getting your bills paid. I want my car note paid, I don't want to work. I want my house note paid, I don't want to work. I wish my note can be paid without me working. Well, that means you don't share the same value of why you have the house. So a lot of us are that way. I want to be blessed. I want God to open the door. I want that job. I want that husband. I want that wife. But I don't share the same value of the spirit that I am. And if I don't share the same value of the spirit that I am, I'm going to create this false process of God and grace and power. And so it's going to cause me to live in balance because I'm going to want God to fulfill me without me exchanging any of my low values for the greater value. And so we put the responsibility on God to fulfill our need when the power of fulfillment is within you already. You can do whatever you want. This is not a theological teaching. It doesn't have to do, you don't have to know all the scriptures. No, within you already, when you want to make a shift, you can make it. You don't have to know all the verses. You don't have to read about it to see if God's given you permission. The permission is already wired in your body to bring dominance to your world. When we were created, the word says that God gave us dominion over everything, which means he gave us, you and I, permission to do anything. Anything according to the nature of who we are, we can do it. We don't have to ask. We don't have to fast, because it's built in us to dominate. It's built into your gene to dominate. It's built within your spirit to bring dominion. Not just church dominion, but life dominion. If I don't want to have a problem, I don't have to have a problem. A problem is when a situation or a person is in disagreement with the goal. Well, I have the power to pick my circle or my relationships. I have the power to pick. I have the power to say, you fit my life and you don't. If you don't fit my life, it don't mean that you're bad. You just don't fit my groove. You understand? You don't put a washer where a nut may go or a bolt may go. You understand? You don't put a clothespin where a washer and a boat may go. There are some things that don't fit. Nothing wrong with the clothespin, but it's the wrong purpose. I have the power to create according to my purpose. I have the power to do it. A problem is when I try to establish something outside of my purpose and I try to put a clothespin where a nut may go or a bolt may go. You understand? I'm trying to make things fit where they don't need to fit. I don't have to have a problem. Now, if I have an ego situation and I'm trying to force something, I'm going to have a problem if I try to put a clothespin where a screw may go. But if I put the clothespin on the line to hang the clothes, I don't have a problem. I have an agreement. A disagreement is when I'm mixing the parts to fit a purpose. Well, you don't have to mix the parts. And sometimes in our life, we mix parts and we have a problem. We rig things so they go, but we're not establishing them perfectly. Well, I don't need a Bible to do that. I don't need nobody to read it to me. I don't need to sit down and you read it to me. No. Within you is an instruction. Let me hear you say that, and I'm not going to be on long. Within me is an instruction. Within you is an instruction that will tell you what to do according to your purpose. And the reason most of us don't hear the divine voice is we're living outside of a purpose. We're trying to live a clothespin life when we're really screws or washers and nuts. You understand what I said? Washers and nuts. You understand what I'm saying? Oh yeah, this is the thing. That within us all is an instruction. How many of you are hearing the instruction? Because there is an instruction to your life, not an instruction to your religion, but an instruction to your life. And a lot of us go off track because we're not hearing the instruction to our lives. We're trying to hear the instructions to our gift, or the instruction to this, or the instruction to that, but we're not hearing the instruction that's built in our life. He says, I'm going to put my laws deep within them. So you don't need a book to tell you. You know when to love. You know when to move forward. You know when to put down a habit. You know not to pick up a habit. You know what to say. You know where to go. All of you know how to act. You know what to do. You know what to do. You know what is right. You know what is wrong. And this life is not about just what's right and wrong, but what's responsible. It's living your mastery. There is an instruction within me. I know where to go. I know what to say. I know when to shut up. I know if I live my life according to my purpose, and I stop trying to fit wrong things into wrong places, I know what's up. You know where to fit. And sometimes our personal pain takes us beyond purpose. Sometimes when we pay attention to our pain or our lack or what we're disgruntled with, we try to place ourselves in situations outside of our purpose. Whenever there is pain, whenever there is a disagreement with us, and if there is, listen, if you are walking in purpose and there is a mental pain to you, it means you have stopped connecting with the value of that purpose. When I stop valuing the thing that produced my purpose, I become sick. Why? Because I've disconnected myself from the vine. I'm a branch on the vine. If I'm a branch on the branch never asks for anything. The branch never tells the vine to remember it. The branch will never tell the vine to remember it. Hold on just a minute. If I'm a branch, I'm this. The vine is this. The vine is this. If I'm the branch on the branch never has to tell the vine to feed me. The branch never has to tell the vine to heal me. The branch don't know it's sick. The branch don't know it's broke because the branch is sharing with the vine. Now, if I'm sick, if I'm in pain, if I'm in doubt, it's because I've disconnected myself from the vine. And I'm living apart from the purpose of myself. And if I live apart from the purpose of myself, then I'm left to deal with the feelings of inadequacy and shame. But if I'm a part of the vine, shame can't come to me because whatever the vine is, I am. Wherever God is, I am. Whatever God is, I am. Whatever Christ is, I am. His power is mine. His power, his mind is my mind. His heart is mine. How he thinks, I'm thinking. Because the branch and the vine are one. The branch and the vine are the same. When the branch and the vine are one, the name of the tree is called God. That's why I say you are who God is. Because God is a connection of the vine and the branches. The tree is called God. But if I'm suffering from shame and doubt, inadequacy, pain, then I have disconnected myself from the value of my purpose. This has nothing to do with where you go to church. Sometimes when we talk about God, we think it's all church. Sometimes I think that's the issue we have. If you talk about God, automatically you're a preacher. Just like if you talk about car tires, and maybe we think you work at Discount Tire if you talk about tires a lot. Whatever you talk about the most, that's what you are. But just because you talk about God don't mean you're a preacher. You can talk about God. It doesn't necessarily make you an ordained preacher or minister, but you are a word of fire from him. You understand? Yeah. So how many of you are sharing the value system of your purpose? When you don't share in the value of your purpose, you feel inadequate. And so you seek natural things to give you adequacy or to give you sufficiency because I'm no longer walking in the value system of my purpose. Spirit, within you, when you live in your purpose, and I'm going to let you go, when you live from your identity, everything is already in you. You know what to do. So why wouldn't you do it? You can't say, well, that old devil just keep going. No, when you're a branch, where's the old devil going to come from? That old devil just come get you. Where's he going to come from? When you're the branch. Now, if you're apart, if you're disconnected from the branch, I could see, old enemies and stuff like that. So do we like being a part of the vine? I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. Are we in love with the vine? Because if you're a branch, your greatest self is on the vine. Your greatest self is not through the validation of somebody else. If you are a branch, your greatest experience is in the vine. So how many of you love the vine? Because if I value the vine, I value my place in it. It says we're seated in heavenly places. It don't mean you're in heaven just floating in clouds. It means I'm in my greatest position. To be seated in heavenly places means that you are in your greatest position. And I love it, and I find my food from it. But if I don't find my food from the vine, then I'm going to leave the vine looking for another meal. So before I go,